This can apply to anybody of any ethnic background, but I'm always going to speak directly to the people of my ethnic background because, like I said, and I'm going to keep saying, that victim mentality, that attachment to slavery, all that other rhetoric and all that other shit is really what's holding y'all back in y'all self-image. And I'm going to break it down because a lot of these pseudo-intellectuals like to draft up all these fanciful, all these creative constructs and different intellectualizations of how the system is against them, right? But I have to bring everything into perspective because that's the only way that I ever got to grow. And how I got to grow is by recognizing, okay, maybe the system is against me. Maybe things are against me, right? But am I against me? You see what I'm saying? So you have to shift the focus from how the world is apparently oppressing you and ask yourself, because I see it everywhere in the hood every day, people oppressing themselves. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Take inventory of all your habits in which you get in your own way. You stifle your own progress. You harm your own health. You decrease your own chances of expanding into a higher version of yourself. You see what I'm saying? But then you're gonna come, oh, well, I do, right, back to the beginning of this video. All these creative hyper-intellectualizations, that you drafting up just to take attention off of the fact that you're not confronting reality the way you need to confront reality. Right. Is that a reason to be irresponsible? We need more responsibility. Power comes through responsibility, and we're not talking about power, leverage to influence, dominate other people. We're talking about personal embetterment so that we can exercise self better towards the ends that we want to apply ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's how I changed myself. I looked at the world and I used to be a victim narrative running motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? Like running all these narratives about how I got haters and everybody hating on me and everybody holding me back, but I got a blunt in my mouth, I got a jewel in my pocket, I'm drinking alcohol, I'm doing all these different things that I know I should not be doing, right? That's getting in my own way and making myself a less person, and I'm using the fact that I got haters or the system is oppressing me to further oppress myself. Fuck that. If anything, I'm gonna go out like this. If the world is against me, let the world be against me. But I'm not gonna be against me, and that's how y'all have to start to think. This is, like I said, for any ethnicity, any type of people, but specifically my people, because I'm gonna have to keep putting it out there. Listen, if you go to the curriculums of America in the public school, maybe even in the private school, that identity, that information about who, what, when you are, is not really the best identity or information that's gonna be geared towards your personal liberation. In fact, it's probably gonna leave you with a sour taste in your mouth, anger in your heart, and a lot of confusion and a lot of inferiority. What do you think the implications of seeing images of people hanging from trees? What do you think the implication of hearing you couldn't? What do you think the implications of consistently seeing images of you in lesser states of flexibility as a human, as an expression of energy, right? And you have to recognize, okay, we're all sitting in the same classroom, but we're not all taking away the same identity. And this is the key that I'm trying to help you understand. If you have a third eye for one split second, you could realize, hold on, that person is not identifying with this information in the same way. They're not relating to it in the same way. And the things that we are taking away end up, and what we absorb, right? Instead of observing, we absorb this information, integrate it into our self-image, and that becomes how we operate on a subconscious level, right? So, like I said, I can say this for any ethnicity. Stop oppressing yourselves. Get out your own way. Are you your own worst enemy? You have to ask that question. Who in the world is really stopping you? How can you allow that, right? And in even any case, one of the last freedoms you have to recognize that you have is that your world is yours, and you can choose your mindset, you can choose your viewpoint, you can choose your perspective in any given circumstance. If anything, if you was locked in a cell in the back dungeons of the worst penitentiaries, you can choose how you are thinking and your attitude towards that situation, and that is the only freedom, and that is the main freedom that a mature soul is going to be able to understand as their leverage in any aspiration that they have. So I bring it all back. Are you oppressing yourself? Stop worrying about, stop drafting up all these false intellectualizations, right? Yeah, okay, intellectualize, understand it, break it down, come up with different critiques, right? But instead of just highlighting the problem, since you're so good at finding problems, why don't we start finding solutions? You see what I'm saying? Whatever you are, your world is yours. I keep trying to drill it into your heads. This is not about, no, let's work out, do some jumping jacks. I don't give a fuck about that. This is really about optimizing who you are in this existence. Do you not understand that you are living in a space and time window that nobody can actually calculate exactly when the fuck or where the fuck we're doing, how the fuck, why the fuck? Exactly. So once you start to recognize the significance of your own life, that's when you're gonna wake up and dawn to the possibilities instead of thinking about all these different ways that people are holding you back and absorb it. And I'm starting to think that this is a level of just copycat mentality where, all right, that person said we're victims, so I'm just gonna run with the victim narrative. Oh, that sounds really like a good argument as to why I'm unable, so I'm just gonna run with it. Right? Do you ever think for yourself? Why? We have to start thinking for ourselves. I'm talking about humanity, individuals. Learn to think for yourself. Mental autonomy. Everything that I say, don't just take it because I said it. Go check it out. Fact check. Do your research. Think about it. But at the end of the day, I'm not about to be one of these intellectuals who talk that talk but got the sloppy body. Who talk that talk but don't come up with no solutions. Who sit back and complain and whine while I'm in my own way destroying my own body and mind. Exactly. I'm on that tip. Anybody got a problem with anything that I gotta say, let's have that conversation. I'm ready, obviously, to have these conversations, to talk, to speak, to have mental discourse. So let's rock out. Why, your world is yours. Consider the vibrations raised. Mindset matters, gang. Mind, body, soul, discipline. The discipline to stay away from oppressing yourself because you feel like people oppressing you. What? You a bitch. You gotta start admitting shit to yourself. Like, hold on, like, I'm being a bitch. Like, I'm really coming up with an excuse and drinking and harming myself and lessening myself because of some other external situation, person, place, thing, circumstance. Right. Really check that mindset out. That's not healthy. That's not mental health. Perspective. Consider the vibrations raised. Hop on the program. I'm gonna give you the blueprint. You know what's up. Evolution. Evolution is the only solution.